Two people, same city, same age. One earns $60,000 a year and quietly has 6 figures invested. The other earns $140,000 and is one missed paycheck from serious trouble. If you're a professional between 35 and 50 who has watched every raise disappear without knowing where it went, this is not a discipline problem. It is an architecture problem. And the math behind it is uglier than most people will ever hear from the people selling them the next promotion. The obvious explanation is lifestyle creep. Spending goes up when income goes up. Most people have heard that phrase. But hearing it and understanding the mechanism underneath are two very different things. The real issue is not that you spend more. It is that you spend more on the wrong category of things. Things that lock in. Things that are nearly impossible to reverse without feeling like you are moving backward. And once those costs are locked in, your financial life is no longer shaped by how much you earn. It is shaped by how little you keep. That ratio, what I call your keep rate, is the number that actually determines whether a raise makes you wealthier or just makes your bills more expensive. Today we are going to look at why a higher salary can leave you with less real margin than the person earning half as much. We are going to run the math on a typical raise and watch it evaporate in real time. And then, I am going to give you a 3-step protocol that works precisely because it ignores willpower and builds the system instead. A study of over 10,000 millionaires found that only 31% of them average 6 figures a year across their entire career. 1/3 never earned 6 figures in a single working year. Not 1 year. Yet, they are millionaires. Meanwhile, data from early 2025 shows that half of all Americans earning $100,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck. Half. A 6-figure income does not guarantee margin. It guarantees a higher ceiling for spending. Whether you actually build anything underneath it is a completely separate question. This is salary to strategy. If you want to understand the math behind money instead of just the motivation, hit subscribe. It is the best trade you will make today for free. Now let us look at the mechanism. Because lifestyle creep is not just a behavior, it is a structural trap with a specific trigger point. And that trigger point is the exact moment most people feel the safest. You get a raise. Let us say it is $15,000 gross. That feels significant. You have earned it. You have been patient. And now the ceiling has moved. Here is what actually happens to that $15,000 between the announcement and your bank account. Federal taxes take their cut first. State taxes follow. Then FICA. For someone earning around $100,000, the combined marginal burden is roughly 37%. Your $15,000 raise becomes about $9,450 take home. The bar just shrank. Now here is where the architecture problem begins. Because $9,450 extra per year sounds like real money, it is almost $800 a month. But you do not experience it as $800 sitting in your account waiting for instructions. You experience it as permission. Permission to live slightly differently. Not dramatically, just slightly. The apartment upgrade that felt out of reach before suddenly makes sense. $200 a month more. That is $2,400 a year. Gone. The car that was fine before feels a little mismatched with where you are now professionally. $150 a month more in payments, another $1,800 a year. Gone. You eat out more because the work got harder and you deserve to come home to something easy. $100 extra a month. $1,200. Gone. A few subscriptions, a gym with a better location, slightly better versions of things you already had. Another $50 a month. $600. Gone. Add it up. $6,000 of your $9,450 net raise has been redirected into recurring monthly costs. You have $3,450 left. That is your actual annual investment capacity from that raise. Your keep rate on this particular $15,000 raise was about 23%. Not because you made bad decisions, because you made human ones. Now here's the part that turns this from uncomfortable to genuinely alarming. Every single one of those upgrades is sticky. That is the word that matters here. The apartment is a lease. The car is a payment schedule. The dining habits are now your baseline for a normal Tuesday. Behavioral economists call this hedonic adaptation. You do not experience the upgrade as a luxury after 6 months. You experience it as the floor. The idea of going back does not feel like saving money, it feels like losing something. This is why lifestyle creep is not just a spending problem. It is a ratchet. It clicks up. It almost never clicks back down, and every time it clicks up, your keep rate gets compressed a little further. Your income can double, and if your fixed costs double with it, your margin is identical. You are running the same financial race on a bigger track and calling it progress. Let me put this on a graph. Imagine 2 lines starting at the same point on the left side of the screen. The bottom line is your income. It climbs steadily to the right as your career progresses. Looks good. But now draw a second line almost touching it from below. That is your spending. It climbs with the same slope, sometimes slightly below, sometimes kissing the income line from underneath. The space between those 2 lines, that thin strip of white, that is your keep rate. That is everything. That is your retirement. Your optionality. Your ability to say no to a bad job. If the 2 lines are nearly parallel, it does not matter how high the income line goes. The strip stays thin. Wealth lives in the gap, not in the height of the line. Now let us bring back the 2 people from the opening. Person A earns $60,000. Their rent is modest, no car payment. They invest $1,000 a month, which is 20% of their gross. Over 15 years, 7% annual return, that $1,000 a month compounds to roughly $304,000. Person B earns $140,000. But their mortgage, their car, leases, their private school tuition, and recurring lifestyle costs consume all but about $400 a month after taxes. They invest that $400 consistently. Over the same 15 years, at the same 7%, they accumulate about $124,000. Person A earns less than half as much. Person A has more than twice the wealth. The difference is not income. It is the keep rate. Person A kept 20%. Person B kept less than 4%. Visualize it this way. Imagine 2 funnels, same width at the top, that is the income flowing in. But the opening at the bottom, the part that actually drips into your future, is determined by how much of the funnel is blocked by fixed costs. Person B has a nearly plugged funnel. Almost nothing gets through to compound. Person A has a wide opening. Small funnel, big flow. The compound engine runs on what gets through, not on how much pours in at the top. This is the part that most financial content skips. They focus on the income number because it is the visible number. The salary on the job posting. The number you tell people at dinner parties. But that number is upstream of everything that actually matters. What matters is downstream, after taxes, after fixed obligations, after the ratchet has had its way with the raise. That downstream number, your keep rate, is the actual engine of your wealth, and almost nobody calculates it. You might be thinking, fine, but I will catch up later. I will get a bigger raise, and then I will finally start saving properly. I hear this constantly. The problem is that the raise triggers the same mechanism again. New level, new baseline, new set of sticky costs. The person who waits for a bigger income to start protecting their keep rate is playing a game where the goalposts move every time the salary does. Here is the second layer twist. The moment of a raise is not a moment of safety. It is the single most financially dangerous moment in your year, because it is the only moment when lifestyle creep has full permission to operate. You feel flush. The resistance to spending is at its lowest. The justifications are at their most persuasive. The commitments you make in that window, the lease you sign, the payment you agree to, will define your financial life for the next 2 to 5 years, regardless of what you earn after. There is a legitimate counterargument here, and I want to address it directly. Someone in the comments will say some lifestyle upgrades are worth it. A home in a better school district. A reliable car for a long commute. These are real. Quality of life is a real thing, and I am not here to tell you that every dollar spent is a dollar wasted. I agree with that completely. Here is the actual distinction. There is a difference between a deliberate upgrade you chose after calculating its cost on your keep rate and a reflexive upgrade your nervous system made because income moved and the brain filled the container. One is a decision. The other is the ratchet clicking. The deliberate upgrade might be worth it. The reflexive one almost never is because you never actually evaluated it. It just happened in the window of permission that a raise opens up. And here is what makes this particularly hard to reverse. Fixed costs carry social weight. Your apartment is in a neighborhood. Your car is in a parking lot that your colleagues walk past. Your kids are in a school with other kids whose parents make similar choices. Once you are inside a lifestyle bracket, scaling back does not just feel financially uncomfortable. It feels like a social statement. Like you are announcing something about your trajectory. The social friction is real, and pretending it is not real is why most financial advice fails. The system you build has to be strong enough to work without requiring you to publicly downgrade your life every time you want to protect your keep rate. So here is the protocol. 3 steps, executable within the next week. Step 1 is to calculate your actual keep rate right now. Take what you invested or saved last year, not what you meant to, and divide it by your gross income. Multiply by 100. That percentage is your keep rate. If it is below 15%, you have a structural problem that more income will not solve. If it is below 10%, your spending has already outpaced your earning capacity, and a raise will make it worse before it gets better. Step 2 is the 12-month freeze. Every time your income increases, raise bonus side income. Your fixed costs do not move for 12 months. Variable costs are fine. Buy a nice dinner, take the trip. But you do not sign a new lease at a higher price point. You do not add a car payment. You do not upgrade your recurring monthly obligations in any form for 1 year after the income increases. This single rule is worth more than any budgeting app because it breaks the automatic link between income and fixed cost expansion. The raise goes somewhere useful before it disappears into infrastructure. Step 3 is automate the gap before you see it. The morning after any income increase, you set up an automatic transfer for the net difference, or as much of it as possible, directly to your investment account. Not after you have seen what is left, before. You pay your future self first, then you discover what is available for everything else. This is not willpower. Willpower fails. This is architecture. The money never hits your checking account in a form your brain interprets as available. It is already deployed. That is it. 3 steps. Keep rate calculation. 12-month freeze. Automate the gap. None of this requires earning more. None of it requires sacrifice in the way people fear. It requires building a system that captures the gap before lifestyle creep can. Here is the reframe I want to leave you with. A higher salary is not wealth. It is a higher pressure hose pointed at your future. Whether that pressure builds something or just erodes the ground depends entirely on where you direct it. The person earning $60,000 with a 20% keep rate is not behind the person earning $140,000 with a 4% keep rate. They are ahead by a significant margin, and the gap widens every year, compounding runs. Income is what arrives. Keep rate is what you own. The first number is what your employer decides. The second is yours entirely. Drop your keep rate in the comments. No need to share the income, just a percentage. I want to see where people actually are versus where the advice says they should be. And if you're between 35 and 50 trying to figure out why their raises keep coming but the margin never grows, hit subscribe. We run this kind of math every week in Salary to Strategy. I am Thane.